The next thing we want is a thumbnail image that's 150 pixels wide and tall. Let's see if we can get that. So under fields, let's add the image. So let's search for photo, okay, appears in staff. We'll check this and click add and configure fields. If we apply this without any additional configuration, it will pull in the full photo. Let's go back and click photo. And so under image style, we have some options here. We can choose large, medium, or thumbnail. Let's choose a thumbnail, which is 100 by 100, and click apply. So this looks a little bit closer to what we want. They're small thumbnails, but they're not 150 by 150. And also, when looking at this wireframe, it suggests that we always want a square image, whereas you can see here that some of these are rectangular and other ones are square. This is because the image is just being sized down without any cropping. To get what we want, what we'll need is a new image style. So let's save this view and add that new style. I'm going to jump from here with coffee. I'm just going to type in image and then jump to image styles. So here are the three options that were available to us in views, and we're just going to add a new one. When it comes to the style name, we have a couple of options. We can either describe where we plan on it being used, or we can describe what exactly it does. So if we go back for inspiration, these have a label but don't indicate exactly where they're going to be used, and an explanation of what happens to the image. I think this kind of model makes sense, where we have a generic label and a description of the size. The alternative would be to use a label like staff photo, and that would describe exactly where the image style is supposed to be used and suggest that we can change that if we need to. So maybe in later wireframes we discover that we actually want a bigger image, so it's going to be 200 pixels wide. Well, we can change the image style and it will affect everywhere in our configuration where we use that style, instead of having to go everywhere where we use a particular style and replace it with a new style. In this case, I think we're going to stick with this convention here, where we use a generic label and then briefly describe what happens, with the idea that the style is not going to change at all. We'll call it thumbnail cropped. We'll do 150 by 150. Okay, let's create new style. So here's a preview of what would happen to an original image if it runs through this style. So you can see they're exactly the same so far. We need to add an effect in order to crop this down. The effect that we're going to choose is scale and crop. This will scale it down to the size that we select, so the image will fill the space that we're specifying. Let's select it and click add. For width, we'll put 150, and for height, we'll put 150 as well. And click add effect. So now you can see the effect of the image. So this is a 600 pixels by 800 pixels wide image, but it converts to 150 by 150, and you can see the cropping happening here. So now let's go back to our view and use this image style. So we'll go to Structure and Views, and we'll go to the R Team view. We'll click Photo, and under Image Style, we'll select our new one, Thumbnail Cropped, and click Apply. If we scroll down, everything is nice and square and looks good.